Tonight, we look north, to a country defined by vast wilderness, immense distances, and a unique place on the world stage. Canada is facing a decision with global consequences, one that will shape not only its own security, but also its alliances and reputation among world powers. At this pivotal moment, Canada stands at a crossroads, weighing a choice that will define its military capabilities and international relationships for decades to come. The central question: which advanced fighter jet will be entrusted to defend the world's second-largest country, stretching from the Atlantic to the Pacific and deep into the Arctic? This is far more than a routine military purchase. It's a decision that touches on politics, economics, national identity, and the future of Canadian industry. The government in Ottawa is now reconsidering its plan to buy 88 F-35 Lightning II jets from Lockheed Martin, a deal that has been years in the making. At the same time, Sweden's Saab has stepped forward with a rival bid, offering the JS-39 Gripen, a jet praised for its versatility and cost-effectiveness. This unexpected turn has sparked heated debate and political tension within Canada, with citizens, experts, and politicians all weighing in on what's at stake. The uncertainty has also drawn pointed remarks from Washington, as the United States closely monitors the decision of its key NORAD and NATO ally. The final outcome remains unclear. The Canadian government has already paid for the first 16 F-35s, signaling commitment, but the fate of the remaining 72 jets is still up in the air. With billions of dollars and the future of Canadian air defense at stake, the decision is anything but simple. This indecision sends ripples across NATO, raising questions about Canada's long-term commitment to the alliance and its ability to contribute to collective defense. It also directly affects North American defense through NORAD, the joint US-Canada command responsible for protecting the continent's skies. The choice Canada makes will be a powerful statement about its priorities, its values, and its vision for the future, both at home and on the world stage. As the world watches closely, Canada's next move will echo far beyond its borders, shaping not just its own destiny, but the security landscape of an entire continent. To understand the urgency behind Canada's need to upgrade its Air Force, we first have to look at the challenges facing the country today. The current state of Canada's Air Force reveals a fleet that is stretched thin and struggling to keep up with modern demands. For more than 40 years, the Royal Canadian Air Force has depended on the CF-188 Hornet jets, which were first introduced in the 1980s. These aircraft were once cutting-edge, but decades of service have taken their toll. Today, these jets are not only outdated and increasingly expensive to maintain, but they are also technologically outclassed by the advanced fighter aircraft now fielded by countries like Russia and China. The gap is widening every year. Canada's vast territory, including its remote Arctic regions, requires a modern, reliable fighter fleet to patrol and defend its airspace. This is essential not just for national sovereignty, but also to meet Canada's obligations to NATO and NORAD, which rely on Canada as a key partner in continental defense. The need for new jets is immediate and pressing. This is a matter of national security, not a distant or hypothetical concern. Every year of delay increases the risk to Canada's ability to respond to threats. Yet, despite repeated warnings, successive governments have postponed the replacement process, leading to mounting pressure on the current administration to finally act. Without new fighters, Canada's ability to defend its own airspace, participate in joint military exercises, and support its allies is increasingly at risk. The country could find itself unable to respond effectively in a crisis. Senior defense officials have made it clear, modernization is not just important, it is now absolutely critical for Canada's security and international credibility. The clock is ticking. Every month counts as Canada races to get new aircraft into service before the old fleet becomes unsustainable. The aging Hornets cannot fly forever, and the future of Canada's air defense depends on swift, decisive action. For years, the F-35 Lightning II seemed to be Canada's undisputed choice. In 2023, Canada committed to 88 F-35s, aiming to modernize its air force and align with US allies, but political winds have shifted. The government is now reviewing the contract, with only the first 16 jets proceeding. Concerns about the F-35's high lifetime cost and an attractive counteroffer from Sweden's Saab triggered this review. The F-35 is technologically advanced, but its operational costs, up to $40,000 per flight hour, raise affordability questions. Some allies have reconsidered their own F-35 purchases due to similar concerns. The government faces a tough choice. Military leaders push for the F-35 while public and industry voices urge a different path. The promise made in 2023 is no longer certain. The entire program is now under intense negotiation and debate. At the heart of the debate are two very different aircraft, each representing a distinct vision for the future of air combat and national defense. The decision between them is more than just a matter of hardware. It's about strategy, sovereignty, and the role Canada wants to play on the world stage. The Lockheed Martin F-35A Lightning II is a fifth-generation stealth fighter, packed with advanced sensors and seamless data sharing, key for interoperability with US and NATO allies. Its stealth design allows it to evade enemy radar, giving pilots a critical edge in contested airspace. The F-35 is not just a fighter, it's a flying command center, able to gather, process and share information across the battlefield in real time. But its high purchase and operating costs, plus concerns over US control of software, raise questions about long-term independence and affordability. Maintenance and upgrades are tightly controlled, and some critics worry that Canada could be left dependent on American decisions for future improvements or mission capabilities. The F-35's complexity also means a steep learning curve for pilots and ground crews. The Saab JS-39 Gripen EF, a modern 4.5 generation fighter, lacks full stealth but is agile, cost-effective, and boasts high availability. Designed for quick turnaround and easy maintenance, the Gripen can operate from remote or improvised airfields, making it highly adaptable to Canada's vast and varied geography. Its open architecture allows for easier upgrades and integration of Canadian-made systems. The Gripen's operating cost is about $8,000 per hour, and Saab promises full technology transfer and Canadian assembly lines. This means not only lower costs over the aircraft's lifetime, but also the chance for Canadian industry to play a major role in production, maintenance, and future development. For many, this represents a rare opportunity to boost domestic aerospace expertise. This could mean over 12,000 new jobs and greater control over upgrades. Local assembly and support would keep billions of dollars in Canada, strengthening the economy and ensuring that Canadian engineers and technicians have a direct hand in the nation's defense. It's a vision of self-reliance and long-term investment in Canadian talent. The F-35 scored 95% in a leaked RCF evaluation, while the Gripen scored 33%. Yet supporters argue the numbers don't tell the whole story. They point out that the evaluation prioritized certain criteria, like stealth and alliance integration, over factors such as cost, industrial benefits, and operational flexibility. The debate continues over what Canada truly needs. The choice, F-35's technological edge and alliance integration, or Gripen's economic benefits and operational autonomy, reflects a broader question about Canada's priorities. Should the country invest in the most advanced technology available, or focus on building a sustainable, independent defense industry at home? Each option comes with trade-offs. The F-35 offers unmatched stealth and network warfare capabilities, but at a premium price and with strings attached. The Gripen promises affordability, flexibility, and a boost to Canadian industry, but may lack some of the cutting-edge features of its American rival. Canada must decide what matters most: cutting-edge capability or national control and economic growth. The decision will shape the Royal Canadian Air Force for decades, influencing not just military readiness, but also the country's technological and industrial future. The stakes are high for both the military and the economy. The world is watching as Canada weighs its options, knowing that whichever path it chooses will send a powerful message about its values, ambitions, and place in the global order. Canada's hesitation hasn't gone unnoticed by its most important ally. The US has warned that backing away from the F-35 could undermine interoperability, especially within NORAD. American officials, including Ambassador Pete Hoekstra, have expressed frustration with Ottawa's delays. For Washington, the F-35 is more than hardware, it's the backbone of Allied air power. A different choice by Canada could complicate joint operations and data sharing, creating vulnerabilities. The US worries a split fleet would weaken the alliance's effectiveness. Canada must balance its own interests with the expectations of its closest partner. The fighter jet decision is now a test of the Canada-US relationship. The final choice will signal how Canada sees its role in the partnership, The pressure is on. Inside Canada, the debate is fierce. Military leaders and retired officers strongly back the F-35, arguing only a fifth-generation jet can counter advanced threats and keep pilots safe. They warn that a mixed fleet would be costly and inefficient. Politicians, however, are divided. Industry Minister Melanie Joly is pushing for stronger industrial benefits and is using Saab's offer as leverage. Public opinion is shifting. Only 13% support sticking solely with the F-35, while more favor the Gripen or a mixed fleet. Economic arguments and cost concerns are resonating with Canadians. The government faces mounting pressure from all sides. This decision is about more than jets. It's about Canada's economy, sovereignty, and global standing. The F-35 supports about 2,000 Canadian jobs, but Saab's proposal could create over 12,000, revitalizing the domestic aerospace industry. Saab's promise of technology transfer and Canadian assembly lines appeals to those seeking economic self-sufficiency. Choosing the F-35 means deep integration with the US, but also dependence on American control for maintenance and upgrades. The Gripen offers Canada more independence and control over its defense capabilities. The choice will signal Canada's foreign policy direction, reaffirming US alliance with the F-35, or pursuing a more independent path with the Gripen. Either way, the decision will have lasting effects on Canada's role in the world. It's a reflection of how Canada sees itself, partner or independent innovator. The world is watching. Experts are divided. Military strategists argue the F-35's stealth and data sharing are essential for future conflicts and alliance integration. They warn that choosing the Gripen could isolate Canada within NATO and NORAD. Economic experts counter that Saab's offers a strategic investment, 12,000 jobs and sovereign production capabilities. They caution that the F-35's high costs could limit training and readiness, while a larger, cheaper Gripen fleet could be more sustainable. The debate is not just about capability, but about balancing military needs with long-term economic health. Canada must weigh maximum capability against industrial and fiscal sustainability. The stakes could not be higher. This is a defining moment for Canada's security, economy, and alliances. The choice between the F-35's unmatched stealth and the Gripen's promise of sovereignty and affordability is a fundamental fork in the road. The government must provide the best tools for its Air Force, while spending wisely for taxpayers. Allies are watching. This decision will shape Canada's strategic direction for decades. The world is waiting to see which path Canada will choose. The landing, whichever runway is chosen, will be felt for a generation.